What's up, guys? Jason, New Age Revolution down here in the cave for a first of 3 this weekend. That's right, it's Friday night. And we're going to do our first of 3 videos that I told you we would do. Tonight, we're going to take a closer look at some 80s stuff. Now, if you've been watching the channel long, you will know that anything that is not toy related is 80s stuff. So at one point in time, I started, and currently and ongoing and forever, I start collecting non-toy related stuff. And, stuff that would decorate an 80s home. Essential items of the 80s. Or just, non-essentials that we had in our, in our bathrooms, I don't know, sometimes in our broom closets, on top of our VCR. Whoa, that's something special. I'm looking over here. See, I'm looking off camera. You can't see, but you're going to see it in a minute. So tonight it's 80s stuff. We take a closer look at it. And yeah, I love the toys. I truly do, obviously. It's the foundation of this channel. But a part of me almost loves the 80s stuff more than the toys, if you can imagine that. So let's get right into it. Let's just start pulling items. I did not pull all of my items. I pulled a few. And there's more up there, but we're going to take a look at these. First thing we're going to take a look at. This is actually not dated. Not dated, but I truly think this came out around 88. 88. We've got a boxed VCR Plus. Now, what is VCR Plus? Well, I can almost assure you that this did not work 100% of the time. Just like, recording off of VCR in the early 80s did not work 100% of the time. Trust me, I know. Getting up the morning after wrestling, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning before school, hitting that play button and getting, I don't know, some, Jimmy Swaggart telethon or something. But the VCR Plus, the concept was, in the late 80s, TV Guide would put these codes after the television show. So in this case, it says 48 hours is code 9196. Okay, so in theory, you're supposed to hook this thing up to your VCR and then type in the 4-digit code, and with the power of witchcraft or something, the VCR was going to record your show based on the 4-digit code. Now, that really just speaks to the time, right? Because, the code was nationwide. Isn't that strange, right? That on what planet nowadays is everybody's television the same? Right? So it's weird that the code, I don't know. Actually, now that I'm reading about it a little bit more, I don't think it was nationwide. I think it was local. I think it was still local. So your local TV Guide had to put in a 4-digit code into the TV Guide. You would type it into VCR Plus, and magically your VCR would record the show based on the 4-digit code. Did it work? I have no idea. There's no way to know now, but I love this thing. Little VCR Plus. All right, in the collection. And yes, it's in there. It's in there. More boxed items. The clapper, right? What 80s stuff collection is not is complete without a clapper? And if you go back in the archives, I don't know, a year or 2 ago, maybe longer, we actually tested out the clapper. When I got the clapper from a Goodwill, I was so excited that I had to see if it worked, and it worked. I clapped on the lights and clapped them off. It absolutely works. The clapper, I just love it. We've all seen the commercials with the old lady violently clapping her TV off as she rolls over and goes to sleep. Clap on, clap off. The jingle is in our heads. But my goodness, what beauty. What a beautiful visual, iconically visual image of the 1980s. The clapper is a part of the collection. More box stuff. This I got at a garage sale. This is a Kodak disc camera. Yeah, so this was made and manufactured in good old Rochester, New York. My father probably had something to do with this, as he was a Kodak employee. But this was made in 1982, and this was revolutionary. This little tiny camera from Kodak was changing the game. Because my goodness, look at this tiny little thing. Look at this, because the film, you see, the film was different. Maybe not. I mean, the film kind of, well, yeah, that would be the film compartment. So I assume that the film rolls were a little smaller than your average camera. But you got this Kodak disc camera right here. There's the button. So you, how would you do it? Smile, right? And then most of the time we're like this, smile. So you get your finger in front of the lens, because we were morons back then. But you couldn't do anything about that. You get your roll of film back, and everybody's thumb would be in the middle of it. You know, their thumb over Aunt Janice's head, and then that's it. There's your memory. So the Kodak Disc 3000 in box is a part of the collection. This I grabbed at a flea market a couple of years ago, and we have one of these. I made sure that we owned one of these. We have one. If I had my way, it would be hanging on the wall in our kitchen, like it always did when I was a kid. But I was told no, and so now it's like on the side of one of the couches. You know, it's got to charge the whole time, but we could have done that if we hung it on the wall. I've been wanting, I was wanting this for years. I found it at a flea market for like $10. I probably would have paid freaking $20 for it. A Black & Decker cordless Dustbuster. Does this not scream 80s? Did we not think that we had changed the world when the Dustbuster was invented in the 80s? My guess is this was in the 90s. 1989. 1989, the Black & Decker cordless vac. Right? And where do I mean hang on the wall? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Those are the houses that I grew up in. Any house that I ever lived in had the Dustbuster attached to the wall as if it were decoration. Of course, because you just got to grab it. Because here, when you spill your coffee, you just get your Dustbuster. And then look at that. When you spill all the stuff in your drawer there, because everybody does that, you get the Dustbuster. Well, now ours is behind a couch. We got to go looking for it. It's terrible. It's not in the right place. But I'm not allowed to hang it on the wall. This is actually, well, yeah, this is sealed. This is very, very partially opened, but it's not. It's glued. This has never been opened. This is sealed. And it's in there. But I've got a sealed freaking Dustbuster from 1989, and I love it. Okay, quickly, here's some more. Here's some more box stuff. Boy, was this was in my grandparents' bathroom my entire childhood. The Men in Gift Collection. We've got aftershave, and when men smelled like men, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not only men smelled like leather, wild moss, and spice. That's what men smelled like. And you know what? It's the most comforting smell ever. Now, this is sealed. I haven't unboxed this and smelled it. My guess is that it doesn't smell the same. That's not true. My guess is that it does smell the same. I can kind of smell it through the, yeah, the smell's the same with a little bit of alcohol, you know, poisoning going on with this stuff. But it smells the same. And this smell, this aftershave smell is so comfortable because it's fathers and grandfathers and uncles, right? Weird uncles with gold chains. It's classic. Hang on, I got to get some more stuff. Bear with me here. I didn't relocate everything while I was moving myself. I didn't move the stuff. But here we go. More box stuff. We have the GPX cassette player personal stereo, the Cassette AM/FM personal stereo, otherwise known as a Walkman. But I think I'm learning that Walkman is actually a brand. Like Jell-O is a brand, right? It's like gelatin, but we say Jell-O. Kleenex is a brand, but we call that stuff in our bathrooms Kleenex. This is a Walkman, but Walkman's a brand, and so this is actually a personal stereo, right? It's a Walkman. And I've got an awesome boxed Walkman that I'm sure still works, that I'm sure still, would pick up stations, and it's got a cassette player. I easily could walk the neighborhood with this right now. And, so you see why I love this stuff so much, because it's more than the toys. It really is. The toys are one thing, the stuff is another thing. We've got, well, hang on. Let me preface this next item. Here we have a phone, ladies and gentlemen. A phone, that's right. I have a phone hanging on the wall, and now I have a desk phone too. Right, so you got to do one of these deals. You got to hold it there, and you got to press your numbers, and then when you're mad at somebody, you just hang up on them, right? Or if you're really mad, you slam the phone down in their ear. But I like this. I like this because it's local, and it's got one of these 911 stickers on it from the Chili Fire Department. And actually, that's the house that I grew up in, was in Chili. But of course, you had to have one of these 911 stickers to remind yourself to call 911 if, your children were choking or something. So you had to put this thing on the phone. I think it was more for the kids to remember to call 911. But I love this. This one is high tech. It's got a hold button. That's amazing. Redial as well, right? Then you could switch it from pulse to tone, which I don't know why anybody would switch it to pulse. Because tone is doot, 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 doot. Pulse is brrr, brrr, right? It's ridiculous. It takes forever. Those are the actual sound effects too, by the way. So this is my phone, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Ugh. You slam the phone down on somebody, and they really get the message. Now, if you're not home and you miss a phone call, what are you going to do? Are you never going to talk to that person ever again? What if it's a job offer? What if it's the lady that you met last night? Well, you don't have to worry about it anymore, because those phone calls can be captured right here on this very high-tech digital. Oh, no, this is not digital. Oh, I take that back. This is a cassette, the cassette version of the answering machine. That's right. How do we know it's cassette? Well, I'll tell you. I'll show you. Because it's got a cassette in there. And not only does it got a cassette, it's a dual cassette. So if you've got tons of messages, don't worry. We've got 2 tapes. Now, I will, at some point, play these tapes and see if there's anything on here. You almost have to think that there is. So I've had this for several years, and I've actually never listened to the tapes. But I'm gonna. This is your video. This is your answering machine. You come home, the thing is blinking here. It's telling you how many messages you got. You click the button, the play button, and it says, hey, it's Mom. Give me a call. And then if she says something, like she gives you a phone number, dap, 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 and you're like, oh, I didn't get that. Don't worry. Don't worry. You rewind. You rewind, and then you can hear it all over again. Yeah, isn't that great? Keeping with some electronics, we have the VHS rewinder, right? Because, as you've heard me say before, if any of you had a father, as most of us did, you were never allowed to rewind the VHS tape in the VCR because it would break it. According to fathers everywhere, it would ruin the $2,000 VCR if you rewound the tape in the machine. So you had to take the tape out and put it in one of these VCR rewinders or VHS rewinders, and you had to rewind it. And that's all this does. That's all it does. It doesn't fast forward. It doesn't do anything. As soon as you close the lid, it begins rewinding. That's its only purpose in life, right? So we had a lot of these because we didn't want to ruin the VCR with rewinding. All right, a couple more things just for nostalgia sake. I found this at a church sale for a dime. For 1 dime, 10 cents, ladies and gentlemen, a McDonald's Mac Tonight sippy cup, right? Because, again, this is at a time when gas stations and McDonald's were giving away all these collector's cups. filled with soda, of course. And we were more thirsty back then than we are now with our water bottles and our $40 coffee mugs and things like that. We needed our Mountain Dew, we needed our Pepsi, and we needed it big. And so we got these cups. And this is a small version, actually, of some of the, sippy cups that I have. This is the McDonald's Mac Tonight. You'll all remember that promo, McDonald's promo. But yeah, you usually get these, for like $1.99. This is 1987. You get these for like $1.99, and then you can get them refilled whenever you want. I don't think anybody ever got them refilled, and I think that's what the company was relying on. But I think you could get these refilled for a discounted price, if not free, if you bought the mug. But I got it for a dime. And finally, we've talked about this before. I don't think any of you who are watching this channel did not have one of these filled with Kool-Aid in your fridge as a kid. This is a Tupperware, actual Tupperware. If you could see it on the bottom, it says Tupperware. This is your refrigerator orange juice, lemonade, Kool-Aid jug, right? This was always in the fridge. You had good stuff in it. When you came home and you saw this in the fridge, you knew that there was some special drinking that was about to happen. And if you were like me, I would figure out how to just pop the lid enough so that I could drink it out of the container, because I was a disgusting kid, so I had to drink it out of the container. But there are some, and I have a smaller one. There are some that had like a little flower design right here. And those are even more beautiful than this. But this was it. This was, again, you come home, it's summer, you get in the house, you open up the fridge, you see one of these, Mom just made some fresh grape Kool-Aid or berry blue or whatever, and that's that. So, okay, so that's a closer look at some of my 80s stuff. Hope you enjoyed. It is part 1 of 3 this weekend. Tomorrow we're going to do the drawing for the XOX Free Custom. We're going to do a Wrestling with the Past. And we are going to do Memories of LJN. And that's it. We'll throw in a Mount Rushmore or something like that. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. I really enjoyed talking about the stuff. I love this stuff. I need more of it. I need to expand the collection. That's all. We'll see you this weekend. Good night now.